I think Sabalenka is going to win all four Grand Slams this year. That is my hot take on the women's side. She's going to win every single one.
Come on, Shiv. You gotta do the come on, bro, Shivi.
Bro, if she wins all four, I will get on all fours and do it. Hello and welcome to episode 22 of the Clutch Report with Shivers and Karak. Today we're going to be previewing the Australian Open. We're going to talk about the Manchester Derby, maybe a little bit about Liverpool as well. But we also have a special guest. Karak, do you want to introduce our guest, please?
Yes, we have Mr. Manav. Manav, welcome to the Clutch Report. How are you today, brother?
Good. Thank you, Karak. Thank you, Shiv. It's great to be here. I mean, I love what you guys are doing, especially, being a fan of all different kinds of sports. It's been great to follow along and super excited to dive into today's discussion.
Absolutely. I think before we go on and move on to the Australian Open, just a little bit about the 56 Run Club. I know you're co-owning that with a couple of other guys in there. If you could just shed some light on just how it works and educate me, rather mansplain how the Run Club works.
For sure. So for context, I moved to Bangalore a couple of years back. And I think, what the culture in India was, whether you're working or in college, was, finish college, finish work, let's grab a beer, let's watch some games together, let's get some dinner. And I feel like that sort of shifted over the last couple of years. So when I moved to Bangalore and stuff, while that was a scene, let's grab a beer, let's go to Bob's, the regular spots. It was more of let's do something different and let's connect in different ways. So it started off with me and my friend signing up for a marathon together, that we had no intention of finishing, but somehow managed to do. And the training for that was great because we'd finish, a 5-10K, go grab something to eat if it was, maybe have a beer as well, and then head home. And the satisfaction, post run was immense. And I think that was the time that run clubs were growing around the country where we decided to start it. So the 56 Run Club's based in Bangalore. We host a bunch of runs, but we also try and introduce sports into the community. So we've done things like we've taken the group to play ultimate frisbee. We've done a men's health workshop at Pilates for about 20 guys alone. So just trying to introduce new sports to people and build a sense of community through sport. Right. I think all of us who have had the privilege of watching sports and growing up with sports through our life have always had that be a little bit element of our lives. But for people who haven't, right, how did they get introduced to sports? How did they have a good time playing something, trying something new? And that feeling of doing something or achieving something together, whether it's playing a new sport, finishing a 3K, I feel like that sense of accomplishment is really big. And that's something that people are chasing more and more today. So that's what it's been over the last 1 year. Touchwood, this year we also signed with Nike, which has been really exciting as well. But it's growing and it's going, and I think the more we grow, the more fun that we have. And I feel like the community has moved from that, let's grab dinner and drinks on Friday to let's play a paddle shot on Saturday, or let's for a run on Sunday morning, or let's go for a cycle. So I love the shift that's happening in India. I feel like it's happening all over the world. And yeah, just trying to make and build a community around sports and in communities is what we're doing.
Do you have like, when people join, do they have like specific goals or they want to try and run a 10K? Do they try and actually run a half marathon, a full marathon? Do they come with goals like that? Or it's just to sort of be a community?
Initially, it was the latter shift where it was more just a sense of community, where people were trying different things and trying to sort of grow. Because Bangalore also is a city where you have people from all over the country coming there to study and work. So there's a very diverse sort of environment where people don't really have their 10 friends or their 15 friends that they've grown up with. So I think it was the sense of community that brought people together initially. But I'd see over the last couple of months, we've seen a bunch of members focus on challenges like high rocks. We've seen a bunch of people do marathons and things like that. And I think with Nike coming into the picture is exactly what you said is we're trying to get people to start their storyline. So I've never run before in my life. I've always been on the couch watching sports. How do I get to my first 5K? How do I get to my first 10K? And build stories around that is our plan for 2026.
And that's awesome, Manav. But also, how, say for example, I'm in Bangalore.
Yeah.
How do I even like participate in a 56 run club program? Because obviously there has to be a process to it. If you could also shed some light on that, that'd be great. Because, I want to run, but like you said, I enjoy watching a lot more than running.
Yeah. For sure. So I think initially, one thing that we tried to keep is that it's a closed group as of now. It's a community that you fill out a form and then, on a monthly basis, we start adding people. And it's only for two main reasons that we did that is one is, once it gets to, so we're already about 500 people strong, right? And once it starts to cross that starts of community tends to grow because all of these smaller groups start to form. Let's say I've hung out with Karak a couple of times and Shiv with you. I'm going to sort of stick to you and not really go into the larger group and sense of community. So we didn't want to sort of just scale it to a point where it's not manageable. And the second thing also is we select people that, have a similar mindset, similar goals, similar sort of social circles that we're in. Just to keep the experience similar for all. It's quite easy to sort of go down the other route where, there lots of issues and things come in. So ideally we have a form that is on our Instagram, so you fill up the form and then on a regular basis we try and add as many people as possible.
Nice. I have a sort of random question. I'm a runner here based in Bombay. I run probably once, twice a week sometimes. I want to
Yeah,
know what your favorite place is to run in Bangalore. Is it Cubbon Park, Sankey Tank, or some other obscure spot that nobody knows of?
for sure. I love Carbon Park. Like it is probably one of my most favorite places to run. I feel like just the sense of the animals in the park, there's everyone's walking their dogs, there are people cycling. You'll see people from age groups of, 7 to 8 years old all the way up to like grandparents in their 70s, 80s having circles sit down. And I feel like in the busy city of Bangalore and the traffic that it is, to
Yeah.
have that small green park in the city
Hmm.
is absolutely beautiful. Like you
Yeah.
just walk in and there's just a sense of like, a different kind of air that you breathe. So I think that's my favorite. But in Bombay, I think there's a great new place that's opened up, the promenade by the
Okay.
coast.
Yeah. I haven't
Um,
done that yet, but I need
okay.
to do that soon.
Yeah, a couple of my friends told me, and it's only for runners. So like, there's no
Hmm.
traffic, there's no stray dogs, there's none of that. It's
Yeah.
just the pooch and you. So yeah, I would love to do one of those when we're in town.
No, that's great. But thank you, Manav, for shedding some light. And let's move on. I think we can move on to the Australian Open, which is happening in a couple of days. But before we move on, Manav, your thoughts on the previous season? Obviously, it was the Sin Crash show. Do you see any changes from 2025?
Yeah, I mean,
Also, are you Team Sinner or Team Alcaraz?
yeah, I mean it's great. Like I feel like tennis is back in, good and safe hands after the rough couple of years that we went on after, the big three. There's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of big names made it up there, but weren't able to sort of hit that level. So I feel like the last 24, 25, all eight slams taken down by these
Mhm.
two is a good sign for tennis. It's for all of us, that rivalry is back and it's as competitive as ever, and also the respect amongst the two is tremendous. So as a tennis fan, it's just lovely to see. I am a Alcaraz fan. I started watching him just purely because I started watching him a little bit earlier than Sinner. And I feel like his explosiveness is amazing. And also one thing that really reminds me of Roger is that he always has a smile on his face. He
Mhm.
enjoys playing those tough slots. He enjoys playing those 20, 30 point rallies and going for it, which just sort of draws me to them. But I think this Australian Open is more lined up to be Sinners. I think that's my thought so far. I think they're both coming off tremendous seasons, but I think the Australian Open just suits Sinner's game a little bit more.
Yeah. I think that's a perfect segue for us to go right into that draw with I think Sinner's got the slightly tougher draw this time around, right? I think
No, absolutely.
he's got Djokovic again. I mean, not that Djokovic is not the same these days, but he's still on that side of the draw.
So we're gonna go right into it. Give me 1 second. Yes, sir. Hope you guys can see my screen.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I think, yep, right into it. Yannick Sinner's path to the Australian Open title. Like Manav mentioned it before, I think this looks like another Sinner win. But I think that's a tough draw. I think we can touch on the round three against Fonseca, who's obviously the next best thing coming out of from Brazil. You think that could that could, Sinner could lose a set there or two, or you think that's going to be straightforward?
So I think last year Fonseca, had a couple of tournaments where he was unbelievable in those games. I mean, those forehands he was ripping. I think he probably broke the record for the fastest forehand last year. So I feel like when it's his day, he's really, really tricky to beat. What I think needs to work on his game is similar to Alcaraz, very explosive, but doesn't yet have that mindset of keeping that consistent throughout the game. So I feel like this can be a big year for him where, if he can keep that consistent and be that explosive at that level, it can really be a breakout year. But yeah, I think third round will be a tricky one for Sinner, especially facing someone who's as explosive, as he is in this half of the draw.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with
Shivas?
Manav. I agree with Manav. I was just going to say that Fonseca needs to just play that game like he has nothing to lose. That's probably, if he starts seeing, okay, there's Sinner in front of him, he will lose that game before it even starts. So he sort of needs to just go all guns blazing, give it his best shot. And I think he could maybe at least get a set of him, maybe two, you never know. It's a good early test for Sinner also, to sort of get the ball rolling. And then if you look at the rest of his draw also, I think there's quite a diversity of players. You've got that Pericard who's like 8'4". I don't know how tall he is. So you've got like a massive server there. Then you've got Shelton or Shapo. If you play one of those lefties, you've got that variation. And then of course Djokovic. So like he's got a good like diversity of players for him to eventually, uh, play Alcaraz in the final.
What are your thoughts on
Right.
Sheldon for this season? He had a good season last year, made it to the top five and kept improving. Thoughts on
Yeah,
the season?
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
I
Ben,
go for it.
Benny Boy Shiva, go on. No, go for it, Shiva.
No, I was saying Shelton, yeah, like you said, had a great season last year. Again, it's just that final step, right? With all these guys, they've all come so close. Whether they can get over that mindset of beating a Sinner or Alcaraz is to be seen. I think Fritz comes in the same bracket again, had a great season last year, but can he take that one step ahead? Maybe even Zverev. Zverev though has been in this bracket for I think 10 years now. Ever since he started, he's been the almost player for so long. But yeah, I think Shelton can again similar. Just needs to absolutely go for it and play with no pressure, and then he might get over the line. But it's tough, man. Sinner and Alcaraz are just so much better right now. Karak, what do you
But
think?
I think also one more point about Shelton is that obviously we've watched him play, right? And he has that massive forehand. But how often does that forehand come in? Because with him, it's purely mentality. It's nothing else because we just see him drop his levels randomly at random stages of the matches. Like that'll never happen with Sinner. It can happen with Alcaraz, but then Alcaraz does it for the fuck of it every time because you just know Alcaraz dropped his level. I don't know for what. He loses a set and then bang, he's back
Yeah,
again for 2 hours, switched on. But with Shelton, if his serve, if that kick serve works in really well, and if he just tries putting that forehand in with, say, an optimum level of power consistently, man, he's so good to watch. But that's the thing, right? When you see a Sinner or a Carlos in front of you, automatically, man,
yeah,
it's like watching, say, for example, you're playing Nadal or Federer. Automatically, you're like, I know he's going to get to the
yeah.
ball, so I need to try something different. But that's the thing. I think tennis is such a mental sport. Obviously, you guys have played the sport, and I just feel like the upcoming kids and the guys who were already there for like 10, 11 years just don't have it mentally, man. And I hope that changes this year because we're getting a little tired of this Sinkaras thing going on, huh?
Are we getting tired? I don't know.
I feel like they need a good, like another 3-4 years of this just to like make it fair for the Djokovic, Nadal, Federer, like Grand Slam titles. Like let them have the next 3-4 years. Let them get another
Yeah,
5-6 each. Let's make it fair, dude. These guys are like 22, 23. It's a bit
yeah.
much.
I believe
Especially,
someone will come around. I can't see anyone right now from this current bunch of players. It might be someone in the next couple of years who comes up. But from the rest of this draw, do you see any other upsets maybe? Do you think a Fritz will reach the semi-final or Djokovic? Like, who do you see reaching that semi against Sinner? Either of
yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Fritz will take Djokovic down. I think Fritz had a phenomenal year last year. You know, he was playing great tennis, but again, like you said, Shiv, it was just that one thing to get over Alcaraz. Sinner. Like he beat everyone on tour. He made it to I think about 6, 7 different finals. He won a couple of tournaments. But the minute Alcaraz and Sinner are there, he just crumbles. And I think the only time he beat Alcaraz was I think in the Nito finals.
Yeah.
In one Wound draw. I think that was his only win of the year. But I feel like he's definitely gonna go deep in most of the tournaments this year, but I just feel that mindset and also the game. Like Fritz's has a great serve, big forehand, but he just needs to take it one step further to get in that category. Like he's right now making it to most of the finals, and I feel like he's gonna go deep this Australian Open. I think he's a step ahead of the Medvedev, the Shelton sort of era, but I feel like he just needs that one sort of step to get it. And it might just be a boost of confidence. If he can take down the AO Open, sets him up superbly for the coming year, and also just puts mindset of, I can beat these guys. I can go out there and beat these guys, which I think will be really important for him.
Yeah. And Karak, what do you think? Do you think Sinner starts favorite? Because I know Alcaraz has lost his coach, and um, but also Sinner having lost to Alcaraz in that US Open final, he wants to do a three-peat of the Australian Open now. Who do you think starts off as favorite? I think Sinner's second seed, right?
Sinner's top seed. Sinner is top seed. Yes, Sinner is top seed, I think. Give me a second. I'm just gonna
I think
get that.
Carlos
Yes,
made it to the semifinals of the
Alca.
finals last year.
So
So
Sinner's second seed.
yeah,
Sinner's second
Okay,
seed.
okay.
So so I think we'll according to me, I think Sinner starts favorite. I think his hardcourt game is slightly better than Alcaraz for me. I think when you watched him play last season, I thought that French Open, I thought he should have won it. He made some errors, and then we know what happened in that French Open. So he was just unlucky last season. But I think this year is gonna be. I just feel like it's gonna be Sinner's year. I feel like he's just one step above Carlos in the hardcore segment, and I think he's gonna pip. Yeah, I think he's gonna be 3-1 this year. But again, I think Sinner starts favorites. I think there's a decent draw for a second seed. Usually, whoever's the second seed gets a massive drop. But I feel like this is not that hard. I generally believe, till the quarters, I think he has it easy. Obviously, round 3 he has Fonseca. But other than that, I don't see anyone troubling him that much. But we can potentially move on to our top seed, Mr. Carlito. Mr. Carlito, everybody. According to me, that looks like a decent draw too. So, initial thoughts on that draw, Manav and Shivi?
Yeah, I mean, I think round 4, Paul's gonna give him a little bit of a fight. It's not gonna be as straightforward as it seems. I feel like that's definitely gonna be a little bit tougher. The next one also, I feel like Bublik is someone with such immense talent that
Hmm.
if he can fix that mental element of that game, that consistency, I really feel like he can do that, but I just don't see it happening. Dimino, home court advantage. I feel like he played a great Nito finals as well. Gave Carlos a run for his money there as well, but I just feel like they're falling a little bit short. I do think Paul and Domino might take a couple of sets to Alcaraz, push him, an hour or two longer than the rest of these opponents. But in this draw, I genuinely don't feel like anyone's gonna give him too much fight until that semifinal final.
Yeah, I agree. I think Bublik again is a dark horse. It's with Bublik, it's like he has a great game, but just it's similar to what I used to say about Kyrgios. He just
Yeah.
doesn't care enough. Like if he gave a shit, he could probably be a better tennis player. But it's just some days he's on, some days he's off, and you don't know which side of him you're gonna get.
Shiv, Shiv, I disagree. I think Bublik is way better than Kyrgios. Bublik has more fucking titles than Kyrgios. Don't get Nick's name in any argument. I think he's a fucking waste. He's just wasted his talent.
Uh,
Bublik, my man, recently won another tournament.
he did.
Listen to
And he
me.
made
Yeah.
2 finals last year as well.
And he made 2 finals, and he keeps losing to Sinner, and he doesn't lose to him. He gets absolutely smashed by Sinner. So I'm
Yeah.
happy that he has Alcaraz on his side.
Okay, fair, fair. I guess Kyrgios's tournament record isn't the greatest, but I was just saying in terms of a mindset, I find them a little bit similar. That sometimes they can just take their foot off the gas, and they don't care as much. But yeah, apart from that, I think Medvedev is quite a dark horse this tournament. He's coming in with some decent form. I think he won the Brisbane Open, finished last year pretty well. So, and of course, I think he's reached the Australian Open final a few times. So he's always a contender, and I think we will see him reach at least a quarter or a semi. Depends on whether, I don't know, is he playing Zverev or will he have to play someone else early? I'm not sure.
You're talking about Mr. Medi?
Yeah, Mehdi, I'm not sure who he's got in the quarters. Demonor
Oh, I
also is
think
an interesting one, man. I feel like Demonor is a bit too late for this generation. He's just so like, he doesn't have the firepower of the rest of them, you know? Like he's got a good all-court game, but he just doesn't hit the ball hard enough for me.
No, I think
Maybe that
Medi
line. Sorry,
plays
go ahead.
Zverev. Medi
Yeah.
plays Zverev in the quarters.
Okay,
In the
yeah,
Also, a little bit
that'll
about
be, go
about
ahead.
Medvedev, a little bit about Medvedev. What I've seen him do different this season. I watched the Brisbane International. I watched a couple of games of Medvedev. I think last season his first serve was a big problem. It was below the 60 percentage mark, which is not good for Medvedev because I know he relies a lot on his first serve. He's changed his service technique a little bit. Through the grapevines when he had this practice with Djokovic yesterday, everybody were talking about how good Medvedev's first serve was. So if he, say for example, brings that A game with respect to his first serve, we all know what Medvedev can do because
Yeah.
his style of game in the hard court, especially, he can grind anybody out in his day. So I'm just saying, Medvedev there is a massive dark horse. Obviously, he had a very poor season last year. He finished strong, but listen, from fourth, he went to 11th seed. Now he's
Mm.
currently 11th seed. So for him to come on top, I think this is, the perfect time to at least reach like the fifth seed or sixth seed. Because listen, Bublik is above him. And if Medvedev is looking at the seeding system right now, it's a cause for concern here. So it's important that Medvedev just comes back. He has a lot to catch up on. Obviously, he didn't do that great last year. So from a point system perspective, he can easily jump up if he just reaches quarterfinals and semifinals. So I'm hoping that Medvedev does his bit to get
Yeah.
on top because I think he's easily a top 5, top 6 player. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I just hope that he's one of the few players. I don't know if he's beaten Alcaraz. I know he's beaten Sinner and Djokovic, but he's one of those guys who's actually beaten these top few. So that's why he's probably my dark horse. Um, but yeah, I think other than that, Musetti always seems to be someone who's just like, hanging about. Rublev also, I don't, yeah, quarterfinal merchant. I don't see him going beyond that.
No, listen, come on. Rublev has to listen.
No.
I cannot believe that curse is still going on. Like every time every time the draw comes out, I follow like a couple of Rublev channels on Twitter. The only thing they say, "May the Lord break the quarterfinal curse."
Yeah. Unfortunate for Rublev. I mean, I feel like he's just not been able to get that breakthrough, man. He's been on that flat line for so long. I don't know if it's the coach, it's the game, it's the mental toughness. Feel like something really needs to change this year just to get him out of it. It's just been way too flat line for too long.
Yeah, I think his
Why?
his tennis style is also just flatline in a sense like
Yeah.
he doesn't have any variety to his game, right? I've never seen him hit a drop shot. I very rarely see him come to the net. It's just boom boom from the back of the court, nothing else.
Shivas is going to Thailand, so he's already in the boom boom mindset.
Don't expose me, Karan. Let's
But
quickly
yeah,
move on to Djokovic's draw.
so from boom boom to Novak Djokovic, guys, Mr. Novak has a tough draw in my opinion. I think yep, he gets the Sinner Thriller in the semi-final, and he gets Taylor Fritz, Musetti Oleka in the quarters, and his round 4 also looks tough. So from round
Yeah.
3, in my opinion, it's going to be hard.
Yeah. I think round 4 is going to be a really tricky one. I think all three of those players, have the firepower to make upsets. Prakash had a good season last year as well, to export too. So I feel like that is a tricky one, or if not, pushes him to, a 4-setter, 5-setter, which just makes the quarterfinals and semifinals a lot more take a toll on him.
Manav, where do you think he loses? Round 4, quarterfinal, semi-final, or maybe even final?
I genuinely feel like he'll make it to the quarters, no doubt. But I genuinely think that if Fritz plays Djokovic, I want Fritz to make it, and I feel like I think Fritz should overpower Djokovic. Because I feel like Djokovic now, finally, I'm seeing signs of decline, right? There are finally, after like 20 years, we are seeing small signs of like here and there a bump that you can see. Okay, that's new. We haven't seen that before. That's a new area that people. So I feel like the more that people analyze his game and sort of just target those areas, they're gonna
Mhm.
exploit him a little bit more. But I feel like, yeah, I think he's gonna make it to the quarters, and I think Fritz is gonna take that.
Karak, you?
Listen, I think, we're kind of underestimating Djokovic here. It's his hometown. It's his second hometown. It's Australia, lads. And he's been a serial winner here. But that's the thing, right? From last season, we just saw how Djokovic couldn't get past Alcaraz or Sinner, and he was pretty honest about it. That, hey, listen, I don't think I can get past these kids. But I don't know, some sneaky feeling in me says that, I think because it's his home ground, I think he might just reach the finals, man. Because, I just feel,
Wow.
because, that's my hot take for imagine this being a hot take, but anyway, that's my hot take that
After
Joko,
22 Grand Slams.
oh, Joko reaches the finals, he's out there to get back his crown. He's coming back home. And yeah, man, I think we're kind of underestimating just Djokovic in general. But I kind of agree with you, Manav. I think he's finally showing signs of letting loose, and we'd rather enjoy watching a Taylor Fritz versus Sinner game, because I think at this moment Taylor Fritz has a better chance of beating Sinner, in my opinion. Or also, I think even Manav, you also meant the same thing. So yeah, but again, my hot take is that Joko reaching the finals. Let's see how that
Wow.
goes.
So
What
you're
about
saying a
you?
Djokovic Alcaraz final?
I'm not even saying Djokovic Alcaraz. I'll tell you who I'm saying. I'm saying Djokovic Medvedev. Let's go. Run
Wow,
it
Wow.
back.
that is a hot take.
No, see, imagine if that happens. I'm just saying, imagine if that happens. I know I'm being I'm being very supremely
You
optimistic on the odds
you
for
should
be
check
very
the
high.
odds on that right now. If you really think that's gonna happen, check the odds and put like I don't even 100 rupees. 100 rupees, you'll make a lot of money if that
A
actually
lot.
happens.
Yeah, man. I think the odds for that will be a lot more. I think it'll be like around what 75, 80 easily, because
I I
also
think
just
more, buddy.
no,
I
but
actually
that's
think
go on, Trivi.
I I was gonna say I actually think Djokovic will lose in the quarterfinal, but I think he'll lose to Lehechka. I think Fitch is coming to the tournament with a slight injury concern. I don't know how serious it is from what I read, but if that's the case, I feel like he may lose a little earlier. And Lehechka's had a pretty decent season last year, could cause an upset. So that I don't know if it's a hot take, but I think he could cause an upset.
Okay. We have yeah, I think that's about it. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about from the men's side? I think we've potentially done Sinner, Alcaraz, and Djokovic. But I feel like the draw also is pretty well rounded. I think surprisingly this year the draw is a lot more even. Usually, if Djokovic is seed one, we all know the draws he gets. He gets Rublev in quarters, he'll get some Bacha in the semis, and then in the finals, he'll meet all the big players. Whereas the other guys go on and get battered from round three to like final. So it's good to see the draw being a little bit more even, in my opinion. What do you guys think about the draw overall?
Sure.
Yeah, I think overall, yeah, pretty fair draws on either side. I think both Sinner and Alcaraz have tough tests along the way, but I see them both reaching the final, to be honest. I see another edition of this Sincaraz that we've seen last year. But yeah, I think a pretty good draw, and I hope we get some. I hope some of these guys challenge them at least. Like I hope to see a five-setter in the quarters or in the semis, maybe even earlier. Maybe Fonseca doing that in round three. I just hope for some more competition in the earlier rounds.
I agree 100%. I think if more people can push them to 5 sets, it just makes their sort of thing a lot harder, and also just sets up people's confidence early that hey, we can get a set off these guys. It's not impossible, and sets them up in the right mentality for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Karak, should we
Moving
move on to the ladies?
Move on to the ladies, everybody. And obviously, my favorite is Swiatek. But then we got to talk about the Tigress, boys. Come on. Sabalenka. I think she has it, bro. I think she has it. I think she's just one level above the rest. What do you guys think?
Manav, what's your thoughts on the Tigress?
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely feel like when Sabalenka is playing her best tennis, I don't think anyone in the women's side can touch her. And I feel like she's now, a couple of years back, you look at her, she had such bad, struggled with mental issues, struggled with that first serve. And I think right now you look at her, and two of her probably strongest elements are her mentality and her serve. So I feel like the journey that she's had to convert those two and turn it around, I feel like just puts her a level above the rest. I feel like even Coco, Rebekina, Anisimova will fight, but I just feel like Sabalenka at Australian Open is a done deal.
Deal, Shivi. What about you?
Yeah, I agree, man. Sabalenka's like you said, the mental game of hers has improved significantly. And the only one I can see stopping her, Swiatek, maybe Anisimova, but Anisimova, we've seen her last year. She gets to that final hurdle, but then she hasn't got that mental capacity yet. Maybe she's worked on that, and I'd hope that she can give a tougher fight this year because she has the game. I think she definitely has the game to beat Sabalenka, but whether she can get over the mental hurdle is the question. But yeah, Sabalenka 100% starts off as like hot favorite. And looking at that draw, I think, what do you guys think? Where's her first test coming?
First test is not the round three. Let's all the Raducanu lovers, please. Your time
Yeah,
is done.
even though I'm a huge lover, I'm like, "Yeah, that's not even a competition." Like, I'm
Yeah.
hoping for like maybe a 6-4, 6-4, so she at least wins a couple of games, whereas it's not like a 6 love or a 6-2. But yeah, that ain't a competition.
Man, I think the round four, man. I think Victoria Mboko has been sensational last year. I think she came in 19-year-old. She's finally seeded in the tournament this year. She had a couple of great rounds in the Wimbledon and then did very well in the fag end of the tournament where she won the WTA Montreal. Her home tournament also, she won the
Yeah.
1000 ATP, 1000 WTA there. So Mboko looks like a good first test for her. Uh, and then obviously you have I think the quarterfinals is kind of a lot easier than the round four, in my opinion. But then I think the semi-final is where I think it's going to be either Goff or Andreeva. Andreeva seeded sixth this year. She's an 18-year-old again. So you have the youngies there. You have a 18-year-old and a 19-year-old on her side of the draw. But that's about it. I think the the road to finals looks a lot more easier for Sabalenka, considering that the men's draw was a lot more well-rounded. But I think this draw is supremely favorable to Sabalenka.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see anyone stopping her. I, I don't see golf also. It's probably just Anisimova or Swiatek in the final. There's no one else I can see stopping her.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I think Anisimova on hard court is the only real competition, but again, that hurdle of just being able to push through. Like, I mean, Wimbledon in US Open, she played fabulous tournaments, right? Until
Yeah,
that finals where it fell apart. Like it just I don't think any of us had words to describe how that happened after you
yeah.
reaching the Wimbledon finals. But yeah, I feel like Sabalenka, especially in Australian Open, the court suits her. She's what, three
Mhm.
times champion now in a row?
Yeah.
Or
Well, she
so
lost last year to
No,
Keys.
she lost last
So
year.
yeah, yeah,
Keys.
yeah.
she
She
won the
Um,
lost
two
to Keys
before
last
that.
year.
Yeah.
do that, yeah. But yeah, I think Swiatek Anisimova was making the finals, but I feel like Goff and River on hard court are not taking on Sabalenka. On Wimbledon, Roland maybe, but on
Mm.
hard court, I just don't see it.
We'll
Yeah,
quickly
let's.
move on to my darling, Iga, my baby. I'm a huge Iga fan, and looking at that draw, that looks like a toughie, boys. That looks like a toughie.
That's a big
Manav,
one.
go on. Any thoughts you have for this beautiful draw?
It starts off with Osaka round four, who has the game, and Eva Lees is a new player on tour as well, German player. She's been making a good comeback. Feel like from Osaka round four, it's just a monster for Iga. I feel like all of those next four rounds are going to be three-set games, and then to face Sabalenka in the finals with not much rest is a tricky one.
That looks like a tricky draw for my favorite Iga. Listen, I watched her play in the United Cup for Poland. She lost to Goff. She got bageled by Bencic. So it doesn't look like a great start for Swiatek. And I just feel like, again, with Swiatek, a serve is very, very important for her to get the ball rolling. And the way she plays, she loves that beautiful topspin kind of forehand, just like Nadal. But if that serve doesn't go in, her second serve is very poor. And what I saw in the benches game and the golf game is that her first serve wasn't hitting. And when her first serve wasn't hitting, she was making a lot of errors in her through her backhand. And usually she's very, very good in her backhand because she plays it deep and then she goes in for the kill with her forehand. But what I'm no, you never know,
Yeah.
man. It looks like a tough job. Thoughts, Shiv?
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think, like you said, she's not been in the best of form lately, but I think in terms of a mental game, she's one of those who's like, who can turn it on when she needs to. And of course, this is Grand Slam tennis. It's not some Adelaide Open or Hopman Cup, United Cup. It's a different ball game altogether. So I think she will definitely reach the quarters, but I think, yeah, Rybakina or Anisimova will pick her up, in my opinion. I'm seeing an Anisimova Sabalenka final again.
Interest.
I think me and
We
Karak
can.
are hopeful for a Rybakina comeback this year. I mean,
Yes.
I would be so happy.
I have spoken about Rybakina for the last bloody 8 months with Manav. Before the Grand Slam starts, both of us will be like, "It's Rybakina time, boys," and then we go back like this. Always, like she's so good.
Yeah.
She's so good. In any given day, I think Rybakina can defeat Sabalenka
Yeah.
straight sets.
Yeah.
She's the only person I think can defeat Sabalenka straight sets. She has the serve, she has the forehand, she has the backhand. The only thing she doesn't have is the mentality. And
Yeah.
I'm just hoping she comes back.
It's similar to Anisimova, right? They both have it, and it's just who can get over that final hurdle. I think Anisimova has gotten better over her two finals. First from getting double bageled in Wimbledon. Did she win a set against Sabalenka? I'm not sure. Did she? I know she broke her a few times, but I don't know if she won a set. I can't remember, but I'm just hoping that the next step is now at least win a set or at least maybe get over the line. Who knows?
Let me see if she won a set. I don't think she won a set, mate. It was a double bagel from our
That
bagel
was in
queen, Swiatek.
Wimbledon. That
US.
was
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon, yes. But at the US Open, I know she won some games for sure.
The US Open, she won. She definitely won some games. She actually played well in the US Open, I remember. No, but again, let's move on to our New Balance ambassador. We'll do Coco Golf first and then come back to our darling Rybakina. So, Coco Golf, ladies and gentlemen, how do you like that draw? We see Venus Williams in round two. Flashbacks to
45 years
Wimbledon.
old, yo.
Wow.
It's
That is some story.
flashback to Coco Gauff's first ever game in Wimbledon when she was 15 years of age, where she played Venus Williams, and it's back again, round two. I don't know why Venus still plays, but yeah, good job, Venus. You're killing it. You're 45 years old. Hopefully,
That's
I'm there.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't. No, it's an incredible career regardless. I think she's enjoying her, whatever the few rounds that she plays. And she's an ambassador for tennis. So, but Coco Gauff, man, I might have to let you know, Coco Gauff is my favorite women's player. I
Nice.
just,
Okay.
I think that's why he's added this year. I don't think she's going to win this tournament. I love her
Mhm.
because she's a fighter. I don't think
Yeah.
she's the strongest player in terms of her ability, but her
Mhm.
mental game is stronger than most,
Yeah.
which is why I've always rated her. Again, she's had issues with her serve, so I don't know if those have been fixed. But like you said, she beat Swiatek recently, so she's always there and thereabout. But I think again, quarterfinal, semifinal is where I see her probably losing.
Quarterfinal doesn't look. I mean, I feel like quarterfinal, she's maybe Andreva might give her too much, but I feel like semis and finals is a very, very tough one for
Yeah, I mean semifinals Sabalenka for sure, but you never know with Coco. There are some. Again, she has an off day here and there. She could lose to a Svitolina, so it could happen. I hope
it.
not, but could happen.
Yeah. Is Coco going into this tournament second seed or third?
Coco is going
Probably
in.
third because she's got Sabalenka, right? In
Yeah,
the semi, so I
Sabalenka.
assume third or fourth.
Yeah.
Let me tell you where she's going through. I have the draw right here. She's going in third.
Third. Okay. And second is what, Swiatek?
Second
Yeah.
is my darling Iga, my darling Swiatek. But again, I think if you look at the round four, man, I think even this is such a great round for her, huh? Muchova, Navarro, or Ila. Ila is this Rafael Nadal Academy youngster who's burst out into the scene last year. And then you have Muchova, my all-time favorite. She plays so well, but she keeps getting injured, but she's very, very good on her day. Even the round three, you have Vondrouskova, the ex-Wimbledon champion. So, she has a tough draw. I'm just
Yeah.
looking at We saw Swiatek's draw, which was hard. We saw Coco Gauff's draw. It looks bloody difficult. What was that Sabalenka draw, man? Bro, she has it so easy.
It's a breeze compared to these two.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like the tigress is going to the game reserve and just running around these bloody all these animals on the left and right.
But I feel like when you're at the top seed, I mean, it happened for Djokovic for so long that when you're the top seed, a lot of these tournaments, you somehow just sneak through, dude. I don't know how it always happens. The top seed gets it, but like we started with Djokovic for so long. Sabalenka, the last few tournaments also until the finals and semis has always had a relatively easy run. I mean, she hasn't dropped
Mhm.
any. Yeah, I feel like that first seed just has a big advantage.
Yeah.
Just like Man City, man. Just like Man City. If you see their FA Cup draws, they'll get Berg City, they'll get Lincoln City, and then in the Champions League, they'll get the same team. They'll get Leipzig, they'll get Dortmund. None of the big teams. Well, only Liverpool will get PSG. United, oh sorry, United don't even play Champions League. I forgot. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, cheap shot. That was a cheap shot, man.
No blow, no reason.
Yeah, but then I think moving on, I think we can quickly go on to the next segment, which should obviously be the first round matches to look out for from the men's side of things. These are some incredible games, but what is the pick of the game for you guys?
Yeah,
I feel
Manav,
like-
what's standing out for you?
Yeah, I think Zverev Diallo is going to be a straight shot right away. Diallo's a super explosive player, and I feel like both of them have similar game styles. Pritchard versus Bay is a good game. Again, Pritchard is always entertaining. I mean, watching his serves is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, crack
And
out to
The funny thing in that game, like I said, Pericard is like 8'4" and Baze is like 5'4".
Who's the Argentinian who used to play against Silic who had another hilarious
Schwartzman.
Schwartzman, yeah.
Diego Schwartzman, brother.
I remember he
tiny
played a
fellow,
bit-
but he used to win quite a few games.
He did. And I think he was in the top 10 for a good amount of time also as well.
Yeah.
He beat Nadal also in clay. But I think
Yeah.
something interesting in this first round matches. Obviously, if you look at you can look at Dimitrov and versus Machak. That's a great game. And then also Shelton versus Hugo Humbert. That's a great game. But
Yeah.
do you know who Shelton and Dimitrov potentially face in round two? So Shelton potentially is going to be facing one of my favorites in the court, Gail Monfils, and Dimitrov, if he wins, might be facing, drum rolls, Tsitsipas in the round two, boys. So listen, lads, it's gonna be a cracker of first couple of rounds for us because we're so used to watching dud games, but the draw has just come in so beautifully. And also, if you look at the round three, obviously we're not going round three, we'll stick to round one. But I'm just supremely excited for these games. And one of the games I think Diminov versus Berrettini looks like the standout from this. I feel like obviously Berrettini not being that great, but again, Berrettini he's been there in Grand Slams. He's reached a couple of finals in the Grand Slams, and to get like Diminor, the Australian lover boy, it's gonna be great, man. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how Diminor faces that. And yeah, man, hopefully a successful start to round one for Diminor.
Yeah, I think that's my pick of the round, and I think Berrettini will beat Dimino. I think that's my first upset with the
Ooh.
Australian crowd backing him. I think the pressure will get to Dimino, and Berrettini might. Berrettini's always had a great serve, a great forehand. It was always his backhand that has like let him down. Just like I think he's reached a Wimbledon final before, but just hasn't finished the job off. But yeah, I can see that upset happening. But before we move on to the next segment, I want prediction for this tournament, men's side, women's side, and one hot take for the rest of the tennis season from all of us. Manav, starting with you. So, winner of the men's draw.
Yeah.
First.
So I'm taking Sinner to take down the men's. I'm taking Sabalenka to take down the women's. And my hot take for the season is someone that I've been wanting to break through for the last 3 years. And I'm telling you, if it works, I retweeted this a while back. I want Ali Asim to sort of make a breakthrough. I feel like he started at the same level at, Alcaraz Sinner about 3-4 years back. Didn't have that growth that these guys had. But I feel like last year he had a really good year. He came back, won a tournament or two, made some finals. So I'm hoping he's the dark horse for the year. Hopefully break into the top five, make, hopefully a final or a semi-final. And that will be the stepping stone for that.
Karak, you?
I think the winner for Australian Open is going to be Sinner.
You
and
just
obviously the
said
women's.
you just said
I
Djokovic
know.
Medvedev in
I
the
said,
final.
I said, see, I said Djokovic, Medvedev, but listen, that's me hoping, Okay. Okay, let me give you my actual prediction. I'm hoping for, obviously, Sinner. And my hot take. I'll go for my hot take first. My hot take is that it's in one of the Grand Slams, Sinner or Alcaraz won't reach the final. That's my hot take.
Okay, no, I
And
won't reach the final. Okay.
won't reach the
Okay.
final. Listen, they reach the finals every
Yeah,
time, man.
fair.
It's so boring. So let's be honest here. That I can't
That's a
believe I'm
warm
saying
take,
that
I'll
out.
say. It's not a hot take, it's a warm take.
So, okay, so I'm gonna
Hot
give
take
you.
can't involve their names. Can't involve
Oh,
Carol
so
Alcaraz.
one of my hot take is that Medvedev wins a Grand Slam. That's my hot take. And so my winner, obviously, I said Djokovic is Medvedev. I think okay, Medvedev is going to win the Australian Open. Let's go. If he doesn't win, okay. And the women's side of things, I know I'm a huge Swiatek fan. He's gonna win it, bro. He's gonna win it.
I want to clip that up.
What about you, Shri? And your
For
Shiv?
me, I think, yeah, Sinner will take the men's. I think Sabalenka will take the women. So, yeah, same as you, Manav. And my hot take, again, I don't know if it's a hot take. I think Sabalenka is going to win all 4 Grand Slams this year. That is my hot take on the women's side. She's going to win every single one.
Come on, Shiv. You gotta do the. Come on, bro, Shiv.
Bro, if she wins all 4, I will get on all 4s and do it.
I feel like Tiger costume would be fit for that podcast
Yeah.
where she would fall.
Bro, don't
End
make
of
me laugh.
September 2026, me and Kadakar in tiger costumes. If this happens, we will do it.
Let's.
Nah, it'll be so much fun if that happens. I'm gonna be excited, man. I'm gonna be excited to wear that tiger costume.
But
But
moving
yeah,
on from this little segment to Manav, I hear you're also a Manchester United fan, and there's a small matter of a Manchester derby this weekend. But first of all, what's been your general thoughts on United this season? What are your hopes for the rest of the season?
This is a touchy topic. I feel like we made the mistake of letting Abram go. I know as a coach it was unacceptable to run your mouth like that, and I feel like he did definitely cross a line, uncalled for. Definitely could have been dealt with better, but I feel like we've invested so much into the manager. He got the players that he wanted. He was investing in a new facility, invested in a new training stuff. I feel like all of the changes that we needed were there with the new manager, and now with a rash decision, again we're left at level 1. We need to rebuild, and I feel like what happened to Liverpool and what happened to City with Pep and Klopp is that they didn't just fix the team, they rebuilt the entire club, right? From the training ground, from the support coaches, from their academy, from their scouting to the infrastructure. And that's why I feel like Slot was so successful in his first year, because he came into a structure that was established. No one was trying to figure out things. They had established themselves of what's doing what. And I feel like the same thing's going to happen with City as well, where when Pep does move on, they have such a solid structure in place that it's not going to be like United or Arsenal where they finish 16th, or where they finish in the bottom half of the season. So I feel like it was a wrong decision for us to do that so quickly. I feel like we needed a little bit more time. Amaran has been all over the place this season. We've had, a couple of phenomenal games, some beautiful attacking football. The Bournemouth game is one of my favorites to watch, in terms of the football. But again, just random games where we've dropped the ball. There's been zero intensity, a couple of changes that haven't made sense. So it's a bit of feeling. Feels like the last 10 years have just been go up and then come back down, and we're back to that stage. So it's not been fun. But yeah, I mean, I hope, I at least feel like now that the squad is there, we have, you know, a good set of players that not sure if Carrick can pull it around. I loved him as a midfielder, loved him as a player. But yeah, I mean, I think it's just get through this derby this weekend and then take it step by step. What about you? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'm happy we've got Mbumo back. We've got Ahmad back. Like you, I was also not a fan of the decision of sacking Amarim at the time we did. I thought we should have at least given him time till the end of the season. But we've unfortunately got to move on from that now. And yeah, with Carrick, I think his record at Borough Middlesbrough wasn't the worst. It's nothing to rave off either. It's a decent record. He's got Steve Holland in with him. He's got Johnny Evans and Jonathan.
1 second. Go on, Shivi.
Yeah. I just thought, I don't know, we haven't reflected on that Brighton game. So whether we're three at the back or four at the back, we've seen it just comes down to players, you know, like not bringing intensity to the field. That was just such a flat performance, and we have to be better than that. Of course, City's going to be a really, really tough game. I feel like the players will be up for it, but whether we have enough to beat them, I really, really doubt. I'm hoping. I think we have. Karak, I know you're going to make fun of us. We have only 16 games left this season. My hope is that we win 9 games. Whether that is achievable, I don't know. I hope we win 9 games.
I have a couple of jokes here. I feel like this year, especially, you guys are only playing 40 games this season. One of the jokes I have is that I think genuinely I might be playing more games than Manchester United this year, man. I'm telling you, I just saw that. I saw this stat where you guys play 3 games in 41 fucking days. What? Like, and the last time United have played this many games, like 40, was before World War One.
My God. That is such a horrible stat.
I don't know what to say to that.
And what I've been hearing is that during those 41 days where you only play 3 games, you guys might go to Saudi to play a game for $10 million. Woo woo!
Saudi's where the money's at. I think we've seen tennis go there in the last year, and I feel like football is growing there as well. So I'm definitely not against the 10 million playing in Saudi. But the 3 games in 40 days is a little bit worrisome, especially with so many new changes to a club. Playing I mean, the competitions next season hopefully will finish top 6 this season, so we'll have the Europe as well. It just doesn't make sense. I'm not finding a rationale behind it. I'm not finding the logic behind it. It just seems like a cash cow grab right now.
I think you guys did this last year too, right? After the end of the season, you went to Malaysia. You had a tour because you got like another 10 to 12 million. So it's good. I think, Manav, you were talking about structure. I didn't want to jump in there, but I think Sir Jim is doing a great job. He's removing all the coupon discounts for the staff. He's removing all the meals there. Listen, structure is coming in.
Look, it is still better than the Glazers. That's all I can say. At least these guys show up for the games. I mean, this is the bare minimum you have to do, but they show up for the games. It seems like they're trying to do something, whereas the Glazers just treated us as like they would basically just take out their payments every year to pay off their debt. That's all they did. They show up for one odd game in the season if we reach a final or something. So of course, I mean, Ineos have made mistakes clearly with Amarim, with Ten Hag, with Dan Ashworth. But I will still give them some more time. They're at least trying shit. They need to figure out and probably be a little bit more thick-skinned. That if a manager comes out and says a few things, that doesn't mean you just go and sack them. Try to work it out, talk it out behind closed doors. But yeah, like I'm glad the Australian Open is starting. We have something else to distract us.
Dude, tell me about it.
3 games in
team is
41 days.
yeah.
But again, going back into the City United game, early predictions, guys. Obviously, City coming in with couple of draws. I know they drew to Brighton, which they should have lost, in my opinion. Brighton missed a lot of chances. City don't look that great compared to Arsenal. Defensively, a little shoddy. I think that centre mid position is a problem if Rodri doesn't play. I think Pep finally has overplayed a player in the middle of the season. That's Nico Gonzalez. It it kind of looks like, obviously we want City to win because I don't want Arsenal to be anywhere near that bloody trophy. But what is your prediction for the game? You're playing City, second in the table. Do you guys think you guys can pull off something, or it's gonna be a City win?
Go
I
ahead,
don't want to
Manav.
get. I don't want to be clipped for this. No, I mean honestly, I think it's gonna be a draw. I don't think United has it. I don't think we're gonna come out winning. I think it's either gonna be something like a 1 or a 2-2 draw. Uh, I don't think either team right now is playing that great of football to be like they have the upper side. I think City has thrown a lot of games in the last couple of weeks. They should have at least been a lot closer to Arsenal than they currently are right now. So I feel like they start with good intensity and then lose it, or start without intensity and then the second half try and make up for it. So I feel like United are very same bucket. We either have a great first half and then second half we switch off, or again, first half we concede and then second half we're playing catch up. So I feel like it's going to be a balanced game amongst that. So I feel like it's going to be a draw, either 1 or 2-2 from myself.
Mm.
Shivi?
Yeah. I'm going to be the optimist here. You can call me stupid, but I'm going to go. I think if we can keep Haaland quiet, I think City have a few injuries at the back. I think Diaz is out. I think Guardiola is out. They've been playing. I don't know. They've got some kid back from loan,
That's right.
Alain, Alan. So he's been playing centre back. So I think we can really get at him. We've got Mbumo back, Ahmad back. So I'm going to be an optimist and say we win the game 2-1. And Arsenal fans, you're welcome if that happens. Karak, your prediction?
Oh, I'm going for a beautiful City win. I believe in something called as the new manager bounce, but not for United. You guys keep changing your manager, so the new manager bounce is out of the picture. I'm going for a beautiful 3-1 victory. I think Semenyo opens the scoring finally for City in the Premier League. I think that's a great buy for City. I don't know how they do it. It's just so irritating sometimes. Just look
Because
at
they're
it.
cheaters. That's how they do it. What do you mean? How do they do it? They cheat.
But this is year on year, man. Year on year, Pep has a problem. They fix it with a superstar, man. Like, it's so irritating to watch. Doku, the last time Doku played well was against Liverpool. No one talks about it. The last time he actually played well.
He played really well also that game, but it's been nothing since.
Exactly. So, and then obviously he's realized that I need someone who's either footed. So who has he got? He's got arguably one of the best players in the Premier League this year with Anthony Semenyo, right? They've got Semenyo now. Semenyo can play left. Semenyo can play right. Semenyo can play up front. Semenyo can play middle. Semenyo can play everywhere. So I think that's a great buy for City. And that I feel like can potentially help City close that gap with Arsenal. Because I feel like Arsenal, one injury away, I don't know. I think Arsenal will take it. But anyway, screw that. But I think City is going to win 3-1. Uh, Michael Carrick off to a flyer, and I'm going to enjoy the United fans. But listen,
Uh,
boys, listen. But the owners will be happy because he's going to be playing 4 at the back. So kudos.
I don't even like it's so crazy now to think we spent almost a year like
Mm.
fighting this urge of not playing for that. Be like, okay, 3 at the back, get used to it,
Yeah.
drill it into it. That now it's just gonna be like chaos is my best guess because it's just so frustrating.
Yeah. I can see us going back to Ten Hag football, which was essentially basketball.
Yeah.
If you look at that Brighton game, there was that hole in midfield was there again. They were just running straight through. And unfortunately, I I can see that happening again. I know Carrick has a slightly distinct style, but we'll see that how that comes. What do you think our starting 11 will be, Manav?
Ooh.
Do
I
you
mean, I
play
think
Kobe Mainoo?
I want to, man. You don't understand how much I miss Mainu, but it's such a tricky. So we play 4-3-3 now. Well, we got Sesko up front and Bamo and Cunha. We have Bruno. I feel like we need to play Casemiro. And on my side, I feel like Mount's had a great season so far. But I feel like Mount should be used to replace one of the top three, and I feel like we need to give Mainu a chance, dude. Mainu,
Mm.
when he plays, but I feel like even, the couple of minutes that he's had this season, I feel like he's trying to do too much. Like, he's trying to make that great run or make that great pass because I feel like he's also trying to get his name out there, right? You play 10 minutes, you make an assist, you're on the starting for next week, or you make a goal, you're on the starting for next week. Where most of the 10 minutes he's come on, he's just chasing around, running players, not
Yeah.
being able to accomplish something. So I feel like in terms of talent, he's up there. He needs a coach who can set him in, who can play around him, who can make him sort of a more defensive player with Bruno playing in front of him and Casemiro to support him. But I feel like I would love to see him come back. Like, I love like that talent, like those couple of games that we saw the previous season, not last one, got me excited. And I haven't seen a United Academy player in the midfield that's gotten me academy. It got me excited in a while.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think he's going to play Ugarte and Casemiro. It's just going to be a little conservative. I hope he doesn't. I hope he plays Meno and Casemiro. But I think he'll play both of them. And then I have a feeling he might drop Cunha. I feel like he'll play Mbeumo and Ahmad. Cunha was a little quiet for me in the Brighton game. I think he has moments in games, but I feel like he's trying too hard, to
Yeah.
be the star man sometimes, trying to do too much when he should just take the simple option sometimes.
Mhm.
And I think Mbeumo and Ahmad with their pace can trouble City, so I hope he plays both of them. I don't think Mount will play. Bruno and then Sheshko also will play. At the back, yeah, will be the same. I think he has to play Martinez. I don't think Delit is back, so it'll be Euro, Martinez, Shaw, and the world's worst right back, Diogo Dallo.
Dude, that right side of Euro and that just like Euro
Yeah.
when he came in, I was happy, I was excited. He had a couple of good games, but I feel like he's just dropped the ball. Like there are
Yeah.
challenges that he needs to be making that block. He needs to be getting in there that he's just not, or like people are beating him too easily. And it's like, okay, you play a good 70 minutes, but then those 20 minutes that you miss up on, that's what leads us to goals. And don't even get me started on Dallo, how he's been a part of Manchester United. Managers,
Since
hey,
Jose, bro, Jose.
mental, dude. Like, it just makes no sense for me. Like, oh, it's frustrating.
Yeah, we're really
They
missing
talk.
Mazraoui.
Yeah, man. He
Is
was
he back? He's
exciting
also.
when he
Oh,
came.
he's not back. He's not
He's
back.
not back. He's playing the final, right? So, but Karak, what about you? You guys have a little case of Burnley this weekend. Should be straightforward.
Nothing straightforward with Slot, man. I think the issue with Slot is that I see we've been winning, we've been drawing, but it's looking very unconvincing. Like I'll be honest with you, even the game against Barnsley, I think he saw the news that Xavi Alonso was sacked. And he was like, okay, let me change my lineup ASAP, Rocky, because he played Van Dijk, he played all the big boys. He gave Chiesa a start and Rio a start, which was surprising. But he played Sabosala. He played like it just looked like a solid lineup. He played Robbo, he played Gomez, he played Van Dijk. So he played Frimpong too. So I'm just like, okay, brother, you're playing against League One team, which is Barnsley, was 17th in the table. And I'm telling you, the scoreline, it was deceiving because, obviously you wake up in the morning and be like 4-1, but we weren't that great again. We were bang average as usual. And we had to get on Ekitike and Weerts in the second half after the 60th minute. They scored two in the last 10 minutes. So I'm just saying there were chances for Barnsley to score and level things up. Obviously, Szoboszlai did something extremely stupid, which I will do in the turf, when I play with the boys and I play with you guys. But he was rightfully called out by the Barnsley manager. But I think it's again coming back to Burnley. I feel like it's gonna be a difficult game. Imagine I'm saying this, but we're gonna win. It's gonna be an unconvincing win. But I'm just glad that Ekitike is back because I cannot watch Cody Gakpo play center forward. I can't watch him play left wing, but I can't watch him play center forward. Geez, man, it's a pain to the eyes. But you know what? You know what the players call Cody Gakpo in the dressing room? Captain Obvious. And Slot is like, I don't know why they call him Captain Obvious, but they all laugh. Brother Joseph, aren't you watching Gakpo play?
Cut on the right curl, try to curl into the corner.
He
Cut,
cuts
cut,
them and goes for that shot.
shoot, hit the defender, repeat. I'm like, "Arey." Sorry guys, I spoke too loud and Sheetal was on a call and she's like, what are you doing? So sorry for that, lads, but that's my emotion for Cody Gakpo, boys. Cody Gakpo, listen. But anyways, yeah, I think 10 match unbeaten for us. So exciting times. And yeah, man, I think if we win this and I think we leapfrog everybody in the table, we have like a 5-point lead in the middle there. nice cushion there. And here's to hoping we do things right. We play an attractive style of football soon.
Yeah, that'll happen when Xabi Alonso comes in. But Manav, one final question for you. Where
Mhm.
do you think United will finish this season? And also, please let us know where we can follow you on Instagram, and where we can follow the Run Club as well.
For sure. I'm hoping for a top six. With a good run of fixtures. I mean, I feel like if we can get a couple of wins under the belt and push that momentum, we can really push for top four. All I hope for this season is that Man City come back and Arsenal don't win the league. As an individual football fan, I cannot handle the fact that Arsenal can win a league. So just a silent prayer for that. But hopefully, top six is a realistic prediction. I think top six is better. At least we're back in Europe. Small steps in the right direction is definitely beneficial. And if we can keep that good run, would be top four. And yeah, on Instagram, it's the 56 Run Club. My handle is Manav7, the Run Club's 56. Check us out if you guys are ever interested in Bangalore, or if you're going to drop by, let me know. Would love to sort of do something with you guys.
If I can do a one-off run, I'd love to join you guys when I'm in the city. But yeah,
100%, dude. 100%. We run every Sunday at Cubbon, and we do events every other week. So whichever you're in town for, would love to host you.
great. So, Manav, thank you so much for coming on. We've had a great time here. We'll make sure to put your links in the bio as well. And yeah, please like, share, subscribe. And yeah, it's a big one tomorrow. Hopefully, United can stop City tomorrow and then maybe stop Arsenal also next week.
Let's go, boys. That's the optimism I like to end my day with.
Yeah. But I want to let you guys know that next week we'll be doing daily recaps of every day of the Australian Open. Either me or Karak will be doing a daily recap. So make sure to follow us on Instagram and we will catch you on the next one.
Thanks, Karak. Thanks, Shiv. Lovely time being here. See you.